Hello and welcome to Running Revolution. My name's Nathan. In today's video, we're going to be doing a full in-depth review of the New Balance FuelCell Elite V3. Okay, so about a month ago, I came out with my first impressions review of the FuelCell Elite V3 from New Balance, and to be honest, I was kind of scared a little bit. There were a couple things in that video that I didn't quite like, but I'm proud to say that after about 50 miles, I think this shoe's going to be pretty good. This shoe's got full-length fuel cell foam all the way through the midsole, a very squishy, responsive, bouncy foam from New Balance. You've seen it in the Rebel series, the SC Trainer, different shoes like that. Is a very reliable compound, very springy underfoot, and very forgiving. Being New Balance's prime race day shoe, they've got a full-length carbon fiber plate in here, and it uses New Balance's energy arc system. So basically, the plate starts like this, goes down, curves up, and then curves back down to give you extra propulsion when it flexes to help pop you off your toes. This shoe comes in at a 4mm drop. It's got 40mm in the heel down to 36 in the forefoot, which is quite interesting. You'd think for a super shoe, usually you've been seeing those 8mm, those 10mm, even 12mm stack heights in some of these race shoes. But to be honest, this 4mm low stack height, I'm actually really loving. Okay, a little bit more talking about the upper here. You got a nice mesh upper, big New Balance logo overlay. Looks really cool. I love this turquoise colorway, sweet colorway choice by New Balance. Now, this upper here, we're going to talk about this later in the review. Not the best New Balance, okay? But I've seen pictures of the New Balance FuelCell Elite V4 already, and you've already fixed that. So I'm hoping that gets fixed, because this was not the best lockdown. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. We move on to the outsole. You've got quite strategically placed rubber, a little bit covering the plate here. Very much needed. You can see how scraped the plate is right through here. So with that, let's get into my impressions of this shoe. This shoe, so I've hit I've done about 60 miles in this shoe, and I've taken it over all different speeds. I've taken it on easy runs, I've taken it on long runs, I've taken it on a few speed workouts, some hill repeats, and let me tell you what my thoughts are on where it performed the best. Well, I guess let's just go from the bottom up, okay? So let's start off with the outsole. The outsole, like I said before, has very strategically placed rubber. You've got just a little bit on the forefoot here, some pads here on the heel, and this one on the carbon fiber plate. It is quite durable. So far in 60 miles, the rubber is holding up. The foam, I'm not going to say the same. Now, FuelCell is a very soft compound, a very soft foam, and so it does deteriorate quite quickly. This shoe is definitely not a trail shoe, but I will say I did test it on some trails, and please, this is a beautiful shoe. Do not ruin it on trails like I did. I didn't ruin it. It doesn't affect the use and utility of the shoe, but you can just see on the bottom there, it's been quite eaten up by the dirt and rock, shall we say. Based off what I'm seeing with this shoe, I'm gonna say probably only about 250 miles out of the shoe, especially because I really think you should be using it for races, workouts, and long runs. Those are the three main categories that I'm gonna be using this shoe for. For me specifically, it's gonna be long run, and I'll explain why that is a little bit later in the video. Please continue to stick around. If you're enjoying the content so far, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Every bit of support helps this channel grow. Thank you so much. Now, moving up from the outsole up into, yes, the big one here, the midsole, full-length fuel cell foam. This is where this shoe absolutely shines, okay? Absolutely amazing. New Balance, you got this fuel cell foam correct. Now, I've run the SC Trainer. That was kind of firm fuel cell. The fuel cell that I loved was in the Rebel version 2. I have not run the Rebel version 3 yet. I actually have it in the mail, and it's coming in a couple days, so hopefully a review will be coming of that in the future. This is perfect. This is like Rebel foam, okay? It is squishy, it is soft. Something about the SC Trainer, it was more firm. I guess it's more training related. This is race-worthy foam. Now, sandwiched in between the layers of foam, now there's two layers of foam, is the exact same foam. I think some people are saying that it seems a little softer on the top, a little softer on the bottom. I really don't seem to notice that. It really seems like the same durometer or fuel cell all the way through the shoe, but you got this carbon fiber plate with their energy their Energy Arc technology in it. I'm definitely feeling the Energy Arc, you know, it is poppy off the toe off. And one thing, this shoe interestingly shines on the downhill. I've been doing a few hill repeats, and on the ways down, the shoe it's kind of got this rocker geometry of the midsole here, similar to, I think, like the Saucony Endorphin Pro, like Saucony Speed Rule technology. I think it's quite similar to this, the way that they've got the rocker geometry on this shoe. But just going downhill, I was flying. I was trying to take it easy, but just, especially on some just easy runs, where there's maybe just a little bit of downhill, not a big hill, but just kind of a slow, gradual decline. I was just flying. It was absolutely amazing. Just quick, fast turnover. Really, really good assist from that carbon plate mixed with this fuel cell midsole. As we keep going up, we've now reached the upper. Now this upper is a nice mesh upper. I'm going to be talking about this bomb kind of part of the upper, and then we'll talk about the heel collar a little bit later and the lockdown. But this very breathable upper, running at 105 degrees in Arizona, was no problem. Very breathable, and as I said before, I really like this nice big New Balance overlay. You're not mistaken which brand made this shoe. Take a look at this other side of the shoe. Very breathable. Got kind of these holes in it, but still very, very intact mesh, and this is not falling apart on you. I think this upper might last longer than the midsole. Now onto the cons of the shoe. The lockdown. Okay, first of all, one thing, I love New Balance. They're probably one of my favorite shoe brands, except there's one thing that they just always never get right, and this is probably me. I kind of have a flat foot, but their uppers, there's always too much material, and so I ends up scrunching up near the toes a little bit, and I have to end up tightening it down really tight, which puts a lot of pressure on the top of my foot, and it doesn't feel super good. I get blisters and things, but take that out of the way, the lockdown, the forefoot's pretty good once I get kind of tightened down and fit into a certain position that I like it, and I don't have to keep fidgeting around with it, but I do have to for a couple minutes when I get the shoe on. This heel tab and this this pull tab here are much necessary when putting on the shoe. It does fit like a sock. Kind of pull these tabs and put the shoe on. Good put on experience, but the lockdown is just not that good. This tongue here, I don't even know what you call it. It's not a tongue, it's kind of a booty construction here. It is elastic here, like stretchy, but if it was a little tighter, I think, and actually hugged your foot more, that is what I would really enjoy. But I'm kind of glad that they're getting rid of it in the version 4. And taking a look at the heel here, you've got these 2 cushion pads here, you know, definitely minimal cushioning. It's a fast race shoe, and this was the drawback in my first impressions video, is this heel collar right here. It just seemed higher than in other shoes. I don't know what it was, if the curvature was a little less shallow or less deep than other shoes, but I was getting a lot of rubbing, so much it tore the skin, and I could not run in the shoe for about 2 weeks. I had to rub the Band-Aid and a pad on my shoe, but I still had hope for the shoe because I really loved it, because I loved the midsole, and I was just, come on, can I just get this upper to fit right? And eventually, right now, I'm not having problems. It took me about 2 to 3 weeks for me to develop a callus on my foot on my ankle. But now I can wear it just fine. Please leave a comment down in the comments if you had this same issue with the heel collar, or any issues that you had with the shoe, or any things that you loved about the shoe. Please comment. I'd love to hear what you liked or disliked about the shoe. Now, at the very top of the shoe, we make it to the very top. The laces here, you know, just your standard flat laces. Nothing special about them. I will say, the interesting way that they lace down the shoe, there's not an eyelet. Had the eyelet chain usually that you see in other shoes with the holes. You've got this kind of wire, if you will, that the shoelace weaves through and comes out of at the top. You do not have a heel lock. That is one thing that I didn't like about the shoe. I think if they had a hole to do the rudder's knot, the heel lock, I think the lockdown score would improve by a lot. But they sadly do not. But, you know, you're able to cinch it down pretty good. And once you get the shoe on foot, it feels absolutely amazing. Now on to the uses. This shoe, I tried it on all different terrains, different distances, different runs, different speeds, different paces. Where's this shoe fitting in my shoe rotation? The long run. I don't think, especially compared to other top tier marathon racing shoes, I don't think this is a racing shoe. It is definitely poppy, it's responsive, it's a little heavier than some other models, but it's not heavy, you know, it's not like you're dragging the shoe with each step. It feels pretty good, it's quite light. But this FuelCell midsole is a little soft, a little squishy for my liking. I like when I'm picking up the pace to be really responsive and quick on the toe off. And this just, it didn't do the same as like the Vaporfly or the Takumi Sen from Adidas for me. But on the long run, this shined, okay? Seriously, 8-10 miles just cranking out. I usually do my long runs anywhere from 640 to 720 pace. And that pace range was absolutely perfect. My legs were tired after this FuelCell midsole. As I said before, very forgiving. It just leaves the legs feeling completely rested and awake for the next day to keep pounding out those miles. So, my overall thoughts on this shoe, I'm going to go, and I know I don't really have a good scoring system in place yet, but I'm going to go 8 out of 10. Really good. They did good on the midsole. They did good on the carbon fiber plate. The upper could definitely use some improvements. The lacing system, I think if they could just add a hole here for the heel lock, I think that would be a very good improvement to this shoe. Okay, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. This is going to be the conclusion here. If you've picked up this shoe, please comment down below your experiences with it. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm going to definitely be taking it past 100 miles, possibly coming out with a video like that in the future. And right now, I'm trying to get a little bit more views because, to be honest, not a lot of people know about this channel. So please share it with your friends, please subscribe, like this video, and please check out the short section of my channel. I'm putting out a couple funny videos, you know, about different types of runners, cross-country, high school cross-country specifically, and so please check out those shorts. I think they're pretty funny, and I hope you'll enjoy them. Once again, this is Running Revolution. My name's Nathan. Run safe and have fun.